Levarme la moustache en la capucha. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki puneti. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki puneti. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki puneti. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki tacatiki. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki puneti. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki puneti. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiki puneti. Casani levarme la moustache en la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, preseason game number 2 is now in the books. And there are some observations that I have to make. And to be quite honest, I need now for some of the Ryan Fitzpatrick lovers and the Taylor Heineke naysayers to sit up there and need to keep their mouths quiet for a moment, because I'm about to go off on a rant right now. To open the show, I'm going to rant. One, let's talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick. The man doesn't look good in this offense. The offense doesn't look efficient. It doesn't look like the timing is there. And it also looks like this team is struggling with him being in the lineup. Now, it's amazing at how everybody talked about how good Fitz was, or how great Fitz is, or what he can be. Yet and still, we see for some odd reason, Ryan Fitzpatrick failed to get this team down the field. I mean, we can talk about some of the things that was there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, you sit up here and you realize he has no pocket awareness. Like, there were times where the pocket basically collapsed around him and he did not have enough sense to know to go ahead and just get rid of the ball, even if that means just throwing it away. He did not do that. Then let's talk about him overthrowing receivers, wide open receivers, clearly overthrowing them. I mean, it's amazing at how everybody talked about, all they need is for Ryan Fitzpatrick to play, to not be Ryan Fitzpatrick, to play well. Yet and still, Ryan Fitzpatrick is showing that this is not the offense for him. Not only that, all these Ryan Fitzpatrick lovers, where's your mouths? That didn't come out right. That didn't sound right. But where are you now? Where's your vocal cords and your admiration for Ryan Fitzpatrick? Where is it right now? Because Ryan Fitzpatrick is showing that he's not the right quarterback for this team. Then, for so many people, remember there was talks about how Dwayne Haskins throws the fastball and all this type of stuff. What about Ryan Fitzpatrick? And those crappy fastballs he was throwing. We don't want to talk about that. We want to pretend like that none of that's not happening right now. Not only that, I'm going to do something that a lot of people who grew up on wrestling will notice. I'm about to give myself the Barry Horowitz. You know why? Because I've been saying it all along. This offense looks far more efficient with Taylor Heineke in as quarterback than either of the quarterbacks currently on the roster. That includes Kyle Allen, which we saw tonight. The fact that there's still this debate about Taylor Heineke possibly not being the better quarterback in what was supposed to be this quarterback competition. And yet and still, we saw Taylor Heineke efficiently walk that team down twice in 2 scoring plays. One, the first touchdown, not his fault, but it was almost a touchdown. The second time, the reason it wasn't a touchdown was because Antonio Gandy Golden didn't turn his head around when he got the inside leverage on the cornerback. So here we are now where we've seen 2 preseason games where Ryan Fitzpatrick does not look good enough to be the quarterback. And yet and still, here we are still talking about this guy. We're still talking about him being the quarterback. And then everybody gets mad when I sit up here and give the example of 2011. That team lost because of Rex Grossman. He was an inefficient quarterback. The defense was on the field all the time. And did we not see that in 2 preseason games? Have we not seen that in 2 preseason games that Ryan Fitzpatrick will have that defense on the field often? And remember, I told you guys about the fact of him tracking receivers. Guess what happened? He almost threw a pick by a linebacker who happened to be watching his eyes as he was tracking Adam Humphries across the field. I said this in my very last video, and it happened again tonight. So all of you Ryan Fitzpatrick fans, I want you to keep the same energy that you had when you said that Ryan Fitzpatrick was the answer. Keep that same energy. Stand up. Raise your hand and say, yes, I was the one who sat up there. I was one of the believers in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I need you guys to stand up and admit that. I was the one who said, hey, this offense looks efficient. It looks better with Taylor Heineke in the offense. It just looks better. It looks smoother. Not only that, Taylor Heineke did it not only with first teamers, but also second teamers. The offense looks efficient no matter which grouping is in there. I tell y'all, and what was supposed to be a quarterback competition, there's no way Ron can honestly sit there and not say and not feel that at the end of the day, Taylor Heineke is winning what is supposed to be a quarterback competition. He's clearly winning. On to the next thing, Jared Patterson. I mean, I am floored at how great this guy is. Peyton Barber may not have a spot. Let's just be honest. I said it in my last video, and I'm saying it here again. A lot of people felt that he might be okay on the practice squad. I said this guy is not going to survive the practice squad. He's not going to clear waivers. I said that. And guess what? Tonight, again, he showed that he's the real deal. This isn't what was his name? Marcus Morris or whatever the guy's name, Maurice Morris or whatever his name was. This is not one of those situations. This is not a Robert Kelly. This is not one of those situations. This guy is real. I mean, he not only caught the ball, he ran the ball, and then when he went back there for a kick return, he returned the ball very well. As he returned the ball, he got a big chunk of yardage in the return game as well. He did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. This guy is actually the real deal, and there's no way to get around that. I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, he's played himself on this team, period. So for a lot of you who sat up there and said Peyton Barber may not have the job, I currently agree with you. I mean, Jared Patterson has showed that he's not a joke. That he came in to compete for a job. Not only compete, but win a job. He's shown that. So, yeah, Jared Patterson looks amazing. defense. The defense is ready. Not only the first teamers, but also the second teamers. They're both ready for the season. And the fact that they've geared themselves up to be ready for the season, I'm frankly impressed. Even with some of the third teamers, they look like they're ready as well. The end Rotimi, he actually sat up there and looked really good in this game. So again, I do see some things that's there. McTire, I think that how can you not want this guy on the team? How can he not make the team? I mean, I know they're keeping probably 6 defensive backs, but you may have to drop one to keep this guy. I mean, I'm just saying, the guy he does a really good job when he's playing. I mean, he's been talked about the whole camp. He's been talking about the whole off season. People have talked about him during the whole practices, everything. He looks good. And like I said, the defense is ready. First teamers and second teamers and some of the third teamers, they're all looking like they're ready for the season to start. The offensive line's chemistry it almost looks like they haven't, like this isn't a group that has just started playing together. They actually seem like they've been playing together for some time. And I was quite impressed with the holes they were opening up when it came to the running game. They did a great job doing that. They also did a very good job in regards to protecting the passer. Of course, when Taylor Heinicke was in the game, they did a great job of protecting him. I will say that there's some things that they need to fix up. But again, a lot of the problems that was going on was more Ryan Fitzpatrick quarterback issue than necessarily them not having the chemistry. And like I said, from all intents and purposes, it looks like this line is ready to play as well. Like I said, their chemistry right now looks incredible. Even the chemistry of the second teamers. We saw Sadiq Charles out there playing right tackle. He looks good out there at right tackle. I mean, there's a lot of things. Cornelius Lucas on the left side. Again, they look like they're actually in sync. And to see that on that offensive line, especially for a line that's basically being rebuilt, I have to admit that was very, very impressive. So far, so good. I will say this. Again, there are things that I am excited about. Like I said, again, and I'll repeat this again. I have always stated that I felt that Taylor Heinicke was the most efficient quarterback when it came to this offense, and he showed it again. The man had 9 straight completions before he had his first incompletion. Understand that. Marching himself down the field for 2 scoring drives. Understand the 2 scoring drives. The other scoring drive was, of course, Kyle Allen. But again, Jared Patterson was in there. Again, but you're talking about efficiency with the offense. We saw it with Taylor Heinicke. Like I said again, the man was 9 straight passes before he had his first incompletion. I don't know. I don't know where the quarterback competition really is. I don't know this understanding of why Fitzpatrick has to be the starter. I don't get it. But hopefully Ron can answer that for us when he does his press conference. I haven't seen his press conference yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he's currently right now in the middle of the press conference, because he has to explain why Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't look that good in this offense, but Taylor Heinicke makes this offense move and look great. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.